I studied videography way before I learned about design, but it ended up being a solid foundation for when I eventually entered the design world. So welcome back to the vlog. It is too nice of a day to not go outside, so let's head outside and talk while I walk. As I become a better designer and learn more in these classes, I realized that industrial design and videography are the same thing, but just two different forms of expression. They both are tools that bridge the gap between an idea to a final product. I asked myself, what makes a good product? And this became the backbone of my own design philosophy. Is it the ergonomics of the object, or the user-friendly features, or the feeling you get when you grace your eyes upon a product? These are all many factors that go into my thought process when I have to make a new design. And this is honestly something I carried over from videography. Learning what my personal taste was, if I like documentary style videos or skits or funny meme videos. And after a long and tiring process, these thoughts helped shape my vlogs to what they are today. This semester for my studio project, I have to design a lamp that is organized and optimizes your stationary workflow, embodying boundless premium and comfort for BMW. And it really has me rethinking what makes a good product. From the mood board to the sketches to the features and even the 3D models, everything has to be precise and fully thought out. And honestly, it was a challenging process to wrap my head around. But then I realized that I was doing that in my videos without even thinking about it. The sound in the background right now is a little euphoric, and it makes you want to reflect and take me and what I'm saying a little seriously. But if I replaced it with some goofy sound like this, it takes all the seriousness away and it makes you check out immediately. And that's the same with design. Every choice either serves the experience or it doesn't. Sketch date! Today we presented our sketches, and I'm not the proudest of them. They're kind of thrown together, but the ideas is what I wanted to convey the most. I'm still going through a bunch of sketches to get the proper form, but sketching is one of my favorite parts of the design process. I'm able to use an art skill that I think I'm very good in and very strong in. And sketching is just something that I overly enjoy, similar to how I make these vlogs. Making these vlogs, I learned to just make something, shoot it, post it, and then I'll just figure it out later. But design pulled me in the opposite direction. My professor would look at my sketches and ask me why I made these choices. At first, I was frustrated. I didn't have a reason for why I made these choices, but then I realized that I was thinking of it too literal. Both are just different ways of experimenting. In video, you experiment in the edit. You try a sound effect or a visual, or if it doesn't go right, you just cut it all out. In design, you experiment before you build. You sketch it out, you model it, you test it out. It's the same idea, but just a different medium. Alright, so I have this piece of cardboard here, and I'm using it as a way to measure my proportions of the actual lamp. I need this curve and this like angle right here to be proper, so that when I have a notepad like this, I get my notepad, put it right here, so that I can put it on top and kind of see what the right angle is, so that this top of this pencil doesn't hit and clip the top of this light. The right angle I need, which is, I'd say maybe about like 9 inches. I'll probably measure it again later just to get a more exact measurement, but that's what I use this cardboard for. It's actually pretty helpful. Cardboard's low-key slept on. Everyone's like, oh, let's go straight to 3D printing, but I think cardboard is underrated for modeling, at least, and prototyping. Without these different prototypes, I would be wasting my time trying to get the right fit. With a 3D print, I was able to get the ergonomic feel of the product, and when I finally held something in my hand, I thought, okay, this actually feels right. One thing that I learned the most is that practice makes consistency, and that came with practicing composition and different angles. This practice was actually embedded in me when I started my design journey. One portion of design that we don't talk about a lot is the finishing process, making your lamp or your product look exactly like if it was to be manufactured. I was terrible at this when I was first a designer. I didn't understand the process, I didn't understand timing, but with more practice, I was able to learn what the steps are, engrave it straight into my brain. However, I do think I need some more practice. So I got my base printed, and now I am sanding it. We'll be sanding from 100 to like 2,000 to 3,000 sandpaper. But I just spent like an hour or an hour and a half sanding, and it's actually like pretty smooth now. This is the before and this is the after. It's a lot smoother for sure. Now I'm gonna prime it and then get it ready to get spackle on. Oh my gosh, look at how much sandpaper I went through. This is just one piece, and I went through basically all of that. Oh, I still have like 4 more pieces that I need to sand before I'm like actually done. So it's gonna be a long day, and I'm getting hungry. So I'm gonna prime it now and then spackle it, and then I'm gonna go and get some food. Last night I was wet sanding, and some of the spackle didn't dry fully, so it like rubbed off and made like uneven surfaces. So now I have to resand and reprime and respackle everything, and it's taking a lot more time than I thought. I'm waiting for my pieces to dry, so I might as well just show you guys what the prototyping phase kind of looks like. So this is the initial curve I had. I wasted 1,000 grams of filament for all of my prototypes, by the way. But this is the initial curve I have. Look how thick this thing is. It's like hollow inside, but still. It's the initial curve. It's fine, but it doesn't feel very like momentum or aerodynamic. I mainly prototyped the curves. I went through a lot of different iterations before I landed on something that I like, that actually works out. I think it's this one. This is the curve that I ended up working with, and this one's like, with the rest of the body, it feels very like intentional with each point of access. I ended up not using a USB-C, so I have to toss this one away and reprint another one. But this is kind of like how in video, you go through different edits and you go through different styles, and you have to kind of just give up on some like idea because it just doesn't work for the video. And that's what prototyping is like, except there's no control Z, you just waste more filament. So now I'm just gonna go and check if my paints are dry, and then hopefully I'm able to spray paint them, and then I'll be done with the finishing process, that is. And that brings me to here. Everything is laid out, and for the first time I'm able to see every piece in front of me. It's not a screen or a sketch, but physical parts that are about to become something. It's the same feeling as having all your clips in the media pool before the final edit. You know it's close, you just have to put it all together. And I'm not gonna pretend that it's perfect, because it's very far from perfect. And I don't think I would have gotten to that moment without videography teaching me to keep going and keep practicing. Turns out I wasn't switching from videography to design, I was just picking up the other half of the same coin.